All right, we're live. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Smart Channel channel. Obviously, my name is Tiago Malena, and I'm here to bring you. Yeah, it is working. There you go. Just wanted to confirm my video is actually on. Welcome again. Like I said, this is Sunday Fun Day on our channel. We've been recording videos here every Sunday to talk a little bit about the markets and, of course, stock market and crypto markets. As we can see, S&P 500 nearly all-time highs again, just 20 points off the all-time high. S&P 500, S&P 500 here really showing us that wants to break out on the all-time high and continue going forward. I don't know. Let's see what's going to happen. We still have the Fed talking this week. Jerome Powell is going to tell us what he plans to do for the first semester of 2022. We just had CPI inflation on Friday. It came hot as the sun, nearly 7% CPI inflation year over year. That's huge. That's the biggest inflation we have in 40 years, nearly 40 years. I think 1982 was the last time we've seen inflation so hot. I actually believe it is even hotter than it is. The numbers that they came out with the CPI, those numbers are a little skewed in my opinion, but let's just take for what it is. 7% is still really hot, meaning Jerome Powell and the Federal Reserve will have to do something about it next year if he continues to go higher the way it is. We've seen shake out the markets a little bit in the last couple of weeks, added with the news of the new variant Omicron from the coronavirus that really put a little bit of fear in the market. And we saw the S&P, all the indexes really taking a hit in the last couple of weeks. But S&P have regained its strength from the pullback, from the retracement he had for the little correction he had last week. The week prior to that as well, starting on the week prior to that, actually started near the Thanksgiving, right after the Thanksgiving on that Friday, the Black Friday. It was actually a red Friday, really. And then we saw the markets really kind of tumble a little bit there in that following week, but then recouping last week. And we can even see Apple hitting all-time high and running like an animal. Really strong momentum on Apple. Will it last? We'll see. We'll talk a little bit about Apple, share a little bit of the graphic and the charts here so you can have an idea in how strong this Apple's been. I think it's run a little too much. Obviously, it can continue to run, but if it continue to run like this, we'll probably see a little correction on Apple, a little pullback at least, test the supports, test that breakout channel so you can actually gain somewhere, drink some water so you can continue running. But Apple, an animal, absolutely. $3 trillion market cap company. And despite its news that it's kind of slowing a little bit demand on the iPhone, still a huge juggernaut in the market, one of the best stocks there are out there. Of course, there's many different sectors that are starting to do well again, a little more resilient. We're not going to talk about all the sectors right now. It's going to be a short video, perhaps a little half an hour of a little bit of news on the S&P 500. Of course, you're going to check out NASDAQ, Dow Jones, and Russell 2000 real quick before we jump to Bitcoin and Ethereum that have lacked this regain in strength from the markets, right? You will see here S&P really nearly all-time high again, just 20 points from its all-time high, but Bitcoin and Ethereum still in a small downtrend for now, nearing support. If it breaks the support they're in right now, it can get ugly for the cryptocurrencies, but we're gonna give it a look and see where they are. So, well, thank you one more time, everyone, for showing up, watching our channel here. If you like our content, don't forget to give us a thumbs up, subscribe, hit that bell notification so you can get a notification from YouTube when we go live, when we post new content. And also, of course, it helps Google put our video, YouTube put our video in front of more people that are interested to know a little bit more about the markets, how they could enter, this markets. And of course, this is not a financial advice. This is for pure entertainment and educational purpose only. None of the stocks that I say here, it's an suggestion for you to buy or sell. I'm purely analyzing, and I'm telling you what I am doing perhaps, but that's my money. You should know how to do with your money. You should have your own system, your own strategies, your own risk reward. And like I say in the channel, the name of the channel is Smart Money, but the best investment, it's in you. The money have to be smart, but you have to be smarter than the money, right? Because the idea here is to learn how to make the money work for you and not you having to work for the money. So let's start right now and start seeing what these charts hold for us. We'll start, of course, sharing the screen here, and we will start with the S&P 500. Let me put the chart here to share. Here we are, and S&P 500. Beautiful, beautiful pullback. And I mean, the pullback wasn't necessarily beautiful, but it's strengthening the market again, regaining momentum to the upside. It's been absolutely beautiful in the last week. And let's see where it's going. It's at 4,718 right now. The highest was 4,740. So literally almost like 20 points to the upside right now to hit that all-time high on the S&P 500. So S&P 500, like I said, it pulled back on that Black Friday. See how huge red candle we had on that Black Friday. That was more like a red Friday than anything else. And then we saw from there huge volatility, coming in with Fed and strength variant on the virus, and it hit the 100 moving average and the 50 moving average, which are strong support in the market. So we saw S&P volatile as hell in the last couple of weeks, starting to subsidize and become a little more neutral in that volatility. It's not out of the woods yet, in my opinion. We still have to wait, like I said, for Tuesday for Jerome Powell to come out and speak and give it a speech, right, to tell us what's gonna happen in the first semester, what he expects to be doing when it comes to monetary policy, right? Is he gonna raise interest rates? When? How many times he expects to raise interest rates? Where does he see inflation going from where we are? Let's see what he has to say. It can still be huge catalyst for volatility in the market. If he comes out a little more dovish, we can expect that the markets are going to take that as a positive sign. I don't know if he's going to do that. I think there's a little bit of price already in the market for this news, mostly in the bond markets, to be honest, than in the stock market itself. But we're going to see here and analyze the charts and see where we are with the S&P. So as you can see here, hitting strong resistance, right? I mean, it hit and it kind of surfed that resistance for a while. It's been surfing that resistance since October. It hit that 4,700-ish in October. It couldn't break it above that. It went sideways for literally half a month, for 2 weeks, until we tried to do it in the beginning of November. It refused to go any higher. That's when we started to see the market tumbling, and S&P went from 4,700 to 4,500, about 5% correction, not huge, but definitely volatile. As you can see, the candles and the S&P were more than 1% up, more or less, from the past month. And then when we hit that volatility, we started seeing like 2, even almost 3% days back and forth for a couple of weeks there. And now on, let me see here, it was Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, last Tuesday. So it started last week on a Monday, off the bottom here, off the lows. Started Monday strong. Tuesday was even stronger. Kind of consolidated for the rest of the last week. But today, markets are up little 0.32% so far. Like I said, we're not going to see much happening in the markets until markets start opening here in the US tomorrow morning. Today is Sunday, 9:30 p.m. here in California. But this candle we're seeing, this first candle here on the right, it's already for Monday's open all the way in Asia. Investors here are sleeping right now, and we're going to start seeing what's going to happen in the first hour of the day here. Actually, even 1 hour before the market starts, we're going to be able to start seeing a little bit of the pattern and where this wants to go. But I still believe that markets and investors are going to wait for Jerome Powell to speak so they can start understanding a little bit more where to put their money, where to move their money to. So, like I said, all right, let's see, there you go. Beautiful. I'll just get a little closer here. So we hit that 50 and then 100 days moving average on a nice regain in momentum and consolidated for the rest of the week again. And it looks like it wants to break higher. Real quick, on the weekly chart, that's exactly what we're seeing here. As you can see, it's being really strong. The 20-day moving average on the weekly chart, it's showing being a very strong buy opportunity. Of course, like I say, I'm not telling you to buy, but as we can see, he hit the 20 in September, he hit it again in October, and he hit it again a couple of times here in February. And by the way, this is from last year, right? So then this year, 2021, he hit again in March when we had that pullback in the market, and then it continued to trend higher, and then we saw some volatility again during September. As we know, September usually not a good month to trade, so we saw the whole month of September surfing right around the 20 moving average, but it showed again to us that it was a good opportunity to buy, and then it trended higher. Let me see here. Let me just, there you go. Change to get my little hand here to pull this. No, man. Don't do that. Don't do that. There you go. Computer is slow as fine. Let's try not to cuss. What's going on, dude? My computer is slow as hell. But here, dude. No, here. There you go. No? Yeah, but anyways, oh, there you go, finally. Well, it does not want to do anything. I have some terrible internet connection, of course. It's stormy as hell outside. I think that might be impacting the internet a little bit, so I apologize about that. Anyways, here's the chart of the S&P 500. Huge candle, getting all the sell-off from the last 2 weeks. All it gave out, it regained last week and this week, showing that it wants to continue trending higher on the S&P 500. So S&P looking good, but still we gotta wait for a couple of days there to see what's gonna happen with Jerome Powell. Let me see what we'll be looking next. Let's look next at NASDAQ. NASDAQ. I saw the internet sign right there. It is definitely the internet. That it is low. S&P also. Oh, pardon. Beg your pardon. NASDAQ as well. Here, huge hold above the 9 and the 20, which means still showing strength and resilience. Again, we gotta wait for Jerome Powell to speak to see what Nasdaq is gonna do. Of course, interest rates, it's not good for some of the tech sector, at least, of course, not the blue chips that make money, but the companies that are not yet making money. But Nasdaq showing some resilience, of course, and it's showing that it's on resistance, right? Not support. I apologize. It's actually resistant right here. Resistance at 16,500. Highs was 16,700-ish. We're not quite there yet. We still have a little more to go than we do have it on the S&P to break to all-time highs. But look at this high base consolidation here. And if he continues to do that and break out of the 16,500, we'll likely see testing that all-time high of 16,760. And then from there, we could possibly be seeing Nasdaq breaking all-time highs and helping to catalyst this market to the upside. And we might see a good Christmas rally in the end of the year. As we can see also, it came down to test in the last couple of weeks the 50 moving average. Strong moving average, strong support. It hit for a couple of days and it just bounced right back. So 50-day moving average has been showing a good place too. It hit here, trended higher. It could not hold here. It pivoted lower. And then we had, you know, that downtrend for about a whole month there in the month of September, like I said. And then from there on, it broke above the 50-day moving average again here on the daily charts. And then we saw this good uptrend on the Nasdaq, but then pull back again with all the news in the last couple of weeks. And it hit that 50 moving average again. It showed us that it was a good time if you're patient and you have the long-term view in the market, that it was a good buying opportunity. Of course, when you're there, you're skeptical because it can't break that support and continue trending lower. But it's shown us that 50-day moving average can definitely be a good time to participate in the market and show us that investors are buying the dip, right? They continue to buy the dip. So that's the Nasdaq. Now, Russell 2000, which has smaller caps, it's the small to medium caps in the market, has not regained yet its momentum. It's actually trying to make a pivot high here, but it will only confirm as a pivot high. But SF Tech, brand charity, exactly. I don't know brand charity, but welcome. So here we go. The Russell 2000 not showing as much resilience, of course, as S&P 500 and Nasdaq. It's still trending lower. It did made a lower low, higher low. Perhaps we may see some consolidation beneath this downtrend resistance here that we're seeing. I put it right here in red. As you can see, the 9 and the 20 are still kind of trending lower. The 20 is still trending lower, still pointing lower. So unless we see it, it goes above the 9 and closing, and it going above the 20, I believe that the Russell 2000, it's still gonna go sideways for a while. And it hit here 3 times, huge support at 2100. It bounced right off, but it has not made back into the uptrend yet. The Russell suffering a little bit more than the Nasdaq and the S&P, but that's what the Russell does, right? The Russell, it's not usually as strong as the S&P and the Nasdaq, even though it did have its momentum this year. Right now, it's showing that it's just consolidating for the moment. And then Dow Jones, of course, showing us now. That's the VIX. VIX went all the way up to 31, last week, and it's just back down at 19 again, showing that investors are not, at the moment at least, buying insurance for their portfolio. But that can change really quick with wrong wording from Powell on Tuesday. So here it bounced right back. It's almost showing that you want to do a little V shape here. The Dow Jones is showing strong momentum. Look at the 9, how it's pointing up. It's trending above the 20 moving average as well. You regain all the moving averages. It came down to test the 200 moving average, which is a very strong support level for the market. And it closed one day below. The very next day, you regained that 200 moving average, which is a very healthy sign for the Dow Jones back then. That was the end of the week prior to last, in fact. But look at this. In just a few days, he was able to regain all of this moving average, consolidated for the last of the last week. And today, a little bit above 2.30%, not a whole lot. That doesn't mean anything to me right now. We're only going to see what he wants to do tomorrow morning when we start seeing the markets opening here in the US. But for now, if he goes this way, it's great. It's showing some little green candle. It's above the last week's high, so that's a good sign. But nothing's gonna happen, in my opinion, until we see Jerome Powell speak and let us know what are his intentions for the first semester of 2022. Still a little bit off the highs as well. The high was 36,000, almost 36,500. It's only on the 36,000 right now, just 500 points off the highs. He can easily regain his all-time high. As you can see, these candles we had like almost 3% in a day, about 3%, and then 2.5 and a little bit percent on last week. So it does have strength to regain these all-time highs this week. And if we get some good news from Jerome Powell, I mean, I don't know how good the news could be, but if we get some news that investors like, we of course are gonna start seeing this market trend higher again and continue to go higher and higher. Of course, I don't believe that's just gonna explode to the upside. We might see a little bit of volatility once we hit the all-time highs here before he actually breaks. But then by the end of the week, we should have a good idea on what the market wants to do. So this was the indexes. Like I said, just gonna talk a minute here about Apple. Look what Apple has been doing, and that's why we also seeing some strong momentum on the S&P and the Dow Jones as well. Huge component of this index is on the NASDAQ as well, pushing the market higher. Apple, I have 5 little contracts here that I'm doing pretty well. I bought off this pullback, and I am happy with my position for now. I'm trending bar by bar, and it continued to trend higher. Even though we had some news from Apple that's slowing the orders on its new iPhone, investors seem to not really care about that. Of course, Apple doesn't just make their money on their iPhones. They actually have built some huge ecosystem within the company, right within its products, that help to leverage their revenue. And it's not just phones that they sell that actually make them money. So therefore, we're seeing some huge, strong momentum on Apple, trending above the 9. Everything's pointing up, but it can just go insanely in this huge, crazy run forever. At some point, we're going to see a pullback and a test of this 9 moving average. And then perhaps we have some consolidation when it hits the 9 here, so we can give some more breath to keep on this uptrend. So Apple, still beautiful chart. Look at the weekly chart on Aapl. It broke above this all-time high of 157, 155 here, and it's at 180 already. So good momentum on Aapl. Look, when it breaks above the 9, look at here. Break above the 9, it can really trend up. It can really go higher. See, it's of course weekly chart here. So this, all of this is 1 week each candle, so it can take a while. This is like months and months, and this is months and months. This is months and months, but it can continue to go higher, like you did here. Look at this huge candle. Look at this huge candle. Kind of similar here. When you break the resistance, it can really trend 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks going higher. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perhaps we can see this week more to continue to go higher. And depending on how the markets react to Jerome Powell, we are going to see Apple continue to trend higher. I'm a little cautious because it has run a little too much. Look at the RSI, which is the relative strength index that shows momentum on the market. Starting to show here that it's overbought. That doesn't mean that it can continue to go higher. But from now on, I am extremely cautious. And of course, I'm trading and going bar by bar because it can just absolutely do this and then trend back to test the 9. And then I will get out and then I'll look to enter again with a new good, strong signal. So this is Apple. It's the only stock I'm showing it today. And from here, of course, I'm going to show Bitcoin, which has been holding support. It's 48.92 right now. It has found support at 4,600. Of course, this is the futures market chart. We're not going to see that flash crash we had the previous week, which we saw over the previous weekend. Bitcoin hit $42,000. We don't have it on the futures market, of course, because the markets were closed then. So you can only see on the Bitcoin chart right here. So you see this big wick. This is when he hit the flash crash at 42,730. And it's now holding this support. If the support breaks, we'll likely see it hit $42,000 and $42,000 breaking, and it passed the $40,000 as well. We're going to see it going down to 30,000, but that's only if all the markets are breaking support, in my opinion. Otherwise, I believe that Bitcoin will consolidate for maybe a couple more weeks before we start seeing it trying to trend higher. So that's the weekly chart. Let me show the daily chart real quick on the Bitcoin. Now this is the RSI. The RSI is below 40, meaning that it has weak momentum. There's not a whole lot of momentum for the upside right now on Bitcoin. It's literally just not going anywhere, just waiting to see what the markets are going to do so we can try to catch up later. If it doesn't break this resistance, it's not going to go anywhere. It needs to break on the daily. This is the 21 weekly moving average, and this is the 8 weekly moving average. This moving average, I do it on the weekly, on the actual Bitcoin per se chart, but on the futures, I like to use the same moving averages as I use for stocks, which is the 920 for short term, and then 50 for medium term, and then the 100 and the 200 for a little longer term view on the chart. So here it's still holding on the 200, which is a positive sign. If it breaks $48,000 support, we can absolutely see it hitting 40,000 here. And if 40,000 doesn't hold, 30,000 will be the next stop down. And if 30,000 support breaks, 0, it's all it can get you. I don't think, of course, I'm just kidding. I don't think it will get you 0. But if it, of course, 48 breaks, 40 is the next support, 40 breaks, 30 will be probably it. So that's Bitcoin, and that now Ethereum. Ethereum, just like Bitcoin, showing more resilience than Bitcoin per se. As you can see, it's still trending below the 50, the 9, and the 20, and the 9 and the 20 are pointing down. So that's still not a great sign for Ethereum as well. I would like to see the 9 and the 20 started to invert and start, trending high, start pointing up, and that it will give me more confidence that we eventually have found the bottom and we are starting to see Ethereum to regain strength and regain the uptrend. So for now, still looking for that support, very, very important support of $3,900. Of course, if it breaks, it's gonna come hit 35, 3,600. And if it doesn't hold that support, $3,000, it will be the next strong support, which will be the 200 moving average for the Ethereum. So I'm gonna take from this chart. I'm gonna show you on the come on, yeah, turn it off. There you go. Hopefully make it a little faster. Brand charity. There you go. So Bitcoin, like I said, one more time here. Downtrend for now, short-term downtrend. After hitting all-time high, you made a lower low, consolidated, didn't hold, broke support, hit a new low, lower low, consolidated. If it does like it did here, we'll see it break it again and continue on the downtrend. Not great news for Bitcoin. If we see the S&P 500 going lower this week, you can expect Bitcoin to test $40,000. And if we do see Bitcoin testing $40,000, altcoins are gonna absolutely melt. And if you are holding any altcoins, I think you will see huge losses on your altcoins. So I already, how I like to call, I already dollarized, I already sold my altcoins. Just for now, holding 3 coins mainly: Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Cardano, which are coins that are more that I am more bullish on the long term. I have not sold them yet, but if it shows that we're gonna eventually get into a bear market, or what they call winter market on the cryptocurrencies, I will eventually sell all of my positions and then eventually wait for signals that we have found the bottom and that it wants to start trending up again to regain position one more time. But I already took some money off the table, already took some profits here and there, and I am not going to see my positions going lower from here. It's already on strong support, and even though some of it's long term, I would like to buy them at cheaper prices. I don't trade Bitcoin. I do trade a little bit more Ethereum. I don't trade Cardano as well. I trade more altcoins, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Cardano. I just usually buy on the dip a little bit more. And if I notice that absolutely it's breaking all of the major supports, I'll sell and then wait for good opportunities to try to buy them cheaper. So this is Bitcoin USD. Let's see what Bitcoin is doing over its dominance with the altcoins. So this is what Bitcoin is doing considering altcoins. This is the dominance chart of Bitcoins and altcoins. So Bitcoin testing that support again. Third time it tests the support with the altcoins, meaning the altcoins are a little bit more preferable at the moment than Bitcoin. We saw Bitcoin lost momentum over the altcoins. We saw altcoins, especially in the metaverse world, having huge gains in the last month. Of course, they all retraced, they all pulled back, they all came back down a little bit with all the coins, with Bitcoin, with Ethereum, with S&P, with all the stock market as well in the last couple of weeks. but it's trying to regain momentum again. As you can see, the last few days, Bitcoin is kind of taking a little bit of that momentum back from the altcoins, but not enough yet to send Bitcoin into a new uptrend. So that was the Bitcoin charts. And now here it's the Bitcoin, sorry, the Ethereum USD chart. So Ethereum testing supports right here. So 3,700, 3,800, that's what's being testing for the last few weeks. So you can see here, and it did make lower low, higher low, lower low, higher low, which is not a good sign in the short term, but it still has not broken this strong support of $3,700. If it does break, it did break on this week right here, but it was bought in the same day automatically. We call it like flash crash. It came down all the way to $3,500 Ethereum, but it got bought up right away. It sent Ethereum higher. It could not hold above the 8 moving average on the weekly. Strong moving average. A little bit more of a short term, of course. I would say a little more position trade than anything else. So it's trending below the 8 moving average. I wouldn't call it Ethereum bullish again unless it can show me a pivot high above the 8. And if it shows a pivot high above the 8, it will give me a little bit more confidence that we are back in the uptrend. But it's not necessarily in the long downtrend neither, because if you see, it's creating an high ascendant channel. It has not broken that channel yet. So right now it could be a possibly good opportunity to buy Ethereum. Of course, if it shows that it does what it did here. It came to test, consolidated, and then it went back higher to test resistance again. Came down, just kind of like it did here. Of course, more choppy, and it took longer to test this support. It tested one time, testing again, and we need to see Ethereum do this. Close above, make a pivot high, and go above the pivot high to show us that it really wants to start trending higher again, and then to hit resistance. I was showing on my Portuguese channel earlier. I'm gonna do it here. So 6,500, I would say, would be the next target for this next little bull run. If it does, look where you went here, from 2,700 to 4,800. That's an increase of 80%. I'm not saying that's what it will happen, but if it does what it did before, and of course, past results doesn't mean future results as well, right? But if we continue to trend like that, that's what we're gonna do. See here, it's gonna go from where it's at now, $3,800, and if we have another 80% gain, it's gonna come down here close to this 6,500. Took about September, October, all the way up to November, so nearly almost 2 months. So if you take another 2 months to have that run, that's when we're gonna see near February Ethereum get closer to the 6,500. Of course, it needs to break the $5,000, nearly $5,000 all-time high in order to get to that 6,500. So my first target would be $4,800, $4,900, which is the previous all-time high. And if it breaks that all-time high, makes a pivot high above that, we can probably see Ethereum to run up to 6,500 within this bull cycle. And then, of course, I believe that once it hits that resistance. I don't believe we're gonna break it and see a huge run from that. We're probably gonna trend lower again and test, which it will be a test of support again. What was resistance here? You will likely come down to test it as support, and you're gonna be probably around the $5,000 here, and then we probably see it continue to make an uptrend within this channel that we are seeing here. So this is Ethereum chart. One more chart I'm going to show you. Oh, now you slide it. There you go. Ethereum, Bitcoin. So look at this head and shoulder inverted. I beg your pardon. Inverted head and shoulders. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder, broke the neck. Let me get a little closer here. Made a pivot high, test support, bang. Higher highs, came down to test resistance here as support, making a higher low. And if we continue to see Ethereum gaining momentum on Bitcoin, this is probably gonna do this, create higher highs on the chart, Ethereum versus Bitcoin. Why do I say I believe it's going to continue to do that? Look at the market cap from both. It's the first time in Ethereum Bitcoin history that Ethereum has more than 50% the market cap from Bitcoin. Market cap of Bitcoin right now, it's $924 billion. Ethereum 474. When they both were at their all-time highs a couple weeks back, Bitcoin was at $1.5 trillion, if I'm not mistaken, and Ethereum was at 575. Bitcoin came down, as you can see in this chart. This is when Bitcoin went down and Ethereum got more upside than Bitcoin. Where is the chart? Here. And then that's what made this break above 50% of the total market cap of Bitcoin. I believe then in the long run, Ethereum is going to get closer and closer to the market cap of Bitcoin. Even though Bitcoin is going to continue trending higher as well in their market cap, I believe Ethereum still has a lot more upside than Bitcoin. Huge platform, huge blockchain, Ethereum, a lot of games being built, is a huge ecosystem, and absolutely a juggernaut, Ethereum, and it's coming to get Bitcoin at some point. So here it is. I believe that's continue going to trend higher. Let me see if I get the monthly chart on both so you can see. That's from 2016, Ethereum BTC. Let me see if I get a longer chart. No, let's see if the OKCoin. No, I need a one that has a longer term. Well, we're not gonna be able to see here. This is on Binance, BTC. Not longs, Binance, COINBASE. Let's see, Bitstamp. X. No, it's not showing the longest it's going. It's back to 2015. But you can see it did a double top here. Ethereum, Bitcoin. Ethereum was really strong against Bitcoin here, and here is continue to trend higher. And we're gonna probably continue to see this happening in the future. So this is it. It's gonna be just a short video today, 44 minutes already. I went over what I expected to do. But anyways, we're gonna be getting analyzing the market during this week. and bringing some more news next Sunday to you guys. I might post a little bit here and there through the week, but for now, I'm going to leave it like this and wait to see what Jerome Powell is going to do and see what the markets are going to respond, or how the markets are going to respond. I'm going to be bringing some more news to you guys. To the very beginning of the channel here, I'm still getting familiar in how to educate you guys about the markets and how to analyze. So bear there with me, hang with me. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. If you like the content, of course, give us a thumbs up. I get a little confused with the language, of course. I just finished up recording a whole hour video in Portuguese, so my brain's trying to shift it to English, and the words come out a little weird sometimes. So I hope you guys are good and understand everything I'm saying there. But I just wanted to thank everybody one more time. If you haven't hit the like button, please hit the like before we leave, and also subscribe, share the channel with a couple of friends or family members that you believe that could benefit from this content, or people that have not got into this market yet, especially the crypto market. Send them our way so we can teach them a little bit about blockchain and about cryptocurrency, of course, just as much as we analyze here and talk about the stock market. So thank you one more time. Have a good week, everyone, and we'll see you guys again soon.